This is ATL Day Ones, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. And it starts now.
Welcome into ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tanitra.
Yeah.
Tanitra, it's a feel-good Friday. We're coming down to our first full week on Locked On Sports Atlanta.
Yes.
Man,
Yes.
I'm excited.
Hey, Mama, we made it.
We still here.
Still here.
Yeah, so we definitely thank you for being here with us in our first week. And, we're going to always ask you to continue to, like and subscribe. Go ahead and comment on there because we're active. We're going to respond to you. Even if you don't like the video, we're going to, ask you for an explanation as to why, of course, because why wouldn't you like what we have going on here on ATL Day Ones? We love you. We love everybody. We invite all of you to also follow us on our all audio platforms because we can get to us there. If you can't watch, you can definitely listen. So we thank you, and it's free. It's free. You don't have to worry about paying for anything. But coming up today, we got a Tiger update. The Atlanta Hawks play against the Miami Heat tonight. Yes. And Atlanta United got some big news. Man, oh my God. Whew. Can't get right. But before we get that, I want to tell you all about Bet Online, which is your number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. You can find all the latest sports developments, including this week's Master Championship odds, podcasts, and reviews for all the different leagues this season. So here's what you need to do. Go to Bet Online and go put some money on Dustin Johnson. Put some strange on there. Dustin's got off to a good start. He's doing his thing. And of course, the man of all mans when it comes to golf, Tiger Woods. After that first round performance,
yes,
you want to put some money on him too? So go ahead. Bet Online is your continued source for all your sports wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. So head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn about the trends and actions. Bet Online, where the game starts.
Yes.
See, Tiger Woods, like I mentioned earlier, he got off to a good start yesterday in the first round, -1, under par. So, hey, does this look like something that we might need to start paying attention even more? Even though our eyeballs are all locked on Tiger,
yes.
The fact that he's performed well yesterday, I don't know about you, but I think we might be on to something for sure.
It could be. He definitely said after round one that he's right where he wanted to be. Right. So that gives me confidence that his body cooperated with him yesterday to get him to 1 under par and to shoot a 71 in round one. That was pretty good. And so I'm interested to see what's going to happen today because this is essentially the first time, and for him, he actually gets an advantage because, with the Masters, they flip tee times. So right. His tee time was morning yesterday and it'll be afternoon today. So instead of just a 24-hour turnaround, he's got more like a 32-hour turnaround, right. Which, hey, look, when you have your body under constraints that it hasn't been under or strains that it hasn't been under for almost 2 years, you want more time for that bounce back. So again, I think we saw something very, very encouraging yesterday, and I'm just looking to see how his body responds today.
Yeah, I'm interested as well because a lot of times as a former athlete, I hate saying that, but I'm gonna say it in this case because it applies, right? When you get back coming back from an injury, are some things that you are kind of a little cognizant of, or you might be a little bit too cognizant of.
Yes.
And I think that obviously with Tiger Woods, no matter how big his ego is, he understands what he's coming from or where he came from in these in this time period he was out and dealing with the accident. I think that when you first get out there, you start to pay attention to some things that you normally wouldn't pay attention to. Like, okay, all right, when's the pain coming? Okay, if I do this, is this gonna come? Or if I tweak this way, my body this way, and my hip gonna start hurting? All of those things come to mind when you think about coming from a space where they were thinking about cutting his leg off, being amputated,
Yeah.
So when coming back from that, I think that Tiger is gonna play this thing out and see
Yeah.
how it goes. And I think that after that first day, that's when you really get a good gauge of the level of pain tolerance and what you're absolutely dealing with.
Yeah, I think so too. And so, we'll see exactly where he lands. Sunjae M has had a great, I guess, round and a half by now. So just very interested to see actually how the field rounds out overall because it's interesting when you look at the top five, you see some names that we're
Mhm.
familiar with, like you mentioned, Dustin Johnson, but we're seeing some other names as well, like a Cameron Smith. And so M and Smith have actually made some noise at the Masters the last couple years. But ultimately, I'm also kind of looking to see that as well, because that goes back to a conversation that we started earlier in the week, which is yes, absolutely. When Tiger is on the links, it makes a difference. Like it literally lifts that sport out of the doldrums. But on the same token, I'm always looking to see the new and kind of see, okay, not expecting Tiger, but looking to see who else is out there making noise. So got an eye on Colin Morikawa, for example, to see exactly how his day two goes on the links as well. But yeah, excited, absolutely excited for what we've seen in Tiger or with Tiger so far.
No doubt about it. And that's absolutely what we're looking for here in the city of Atlanta, where we talk all Atlanta sports. The Atlanta Hawks take on the Miami Heat tonight, T. It's
Yeah.
going down. It looks
Yes.
like Lou Williams is going to be questionable with lower back injury,
Hmm.
lower back tightness, and of course John Collins is out. But the good news about that, they have not ruled him out for the season just yet.
Right.
So we shall see how that goes down. But I think that we don't know whether or not they're going to sit their guys or the Miami Heat are going to go ahead and play their guys. But I think it's a matter of the Hawks coming out, doing what they need to do, and it all starts with Trae Young.
Yeah, yeah. And here's the interesting part as well. When I think about the Wizards, that game, literally they allowed the Hawks overall allowed Kristaps Porzingis to get the best of them the
Yeah.
first half of the game. But the
Yes.
second half, they really shut him down. They really kept him in check, and they stepped back and said, "Okay." And I'm just throwing out a random name here because it was really that entire squad. But okay, Contavious Caldwell Pope, you beat us.
Right.
And once they literally put the focus on locking down on Porzingis and gave everybody else the opportunity to beat them, nobody stood up, nobody stepped up. Conversely, Trey was quiet that first half
He
until right
was.
before halftime. And the Hawks overall playing a two-way game were doing pretty solid. So I like what I saw there. I'm excited about what's going to happen tonight. Yes, you do hope for good fortune that the Heat don't actually play all of their available players. But honestly, all I want them to do is focus on two people. And I'm glad that one person is out and then we'll move on. But the real talk is Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, taking
Yes.
nothing away from their starters, but really who's given the Hawks the most blues? The Heat's bench. So I'm interested to see not just if the starters start, but who's coming off that bench for them tonight. And then also PJ Tucker is out. So he was someone who's had at least the first two games against the Hawks, they kind of contained him. The third game, but the first two games, they kind of had trouble with him. And meanwhile, the Hawks are starting to get a rhythm at the four, minus John Collins. So I feel comfortable that that might be advantageous to the Hawks tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We will be having our eyeballs on what's going on with the Hawks as they try to slide into that eighth seed. Baby, not we shall see.
Seven is
All
still
right.
in play too now. Don't it's interesting because everything is in play
Yeah.
for them. Seven, eight, nine, and 10.
Yeah, come on, man. That's why these games, these last couple of games, are so important. Like I said, with the Heat, being a high ranked team in the playoffs, I think
Hmm.
that this would be a good barometer as far as going forward. And like you're saying, being able to make some noise
Yeah.
in the actual playoffs and
Yes.
outside the play-in tournament. All right, well, before we get ready to get up out of here, is for this Jarvis and T, top three. Atlanta United, Josef Martinez out 6 to 8 weeks. T, like what is going on with this squad? They just can't get right.
Yeah, it's a tough blow, a setback, if you will.
Right,
We knew a couple days ago that he was headed back to Pittsburgh to the same medical center that had really worked on his right knee the first time. And basically, he went in for a scope, and now, and they had to clean some things out. They had to clean some debris out.
right,
So the recovery time is about 6 to 8 weeks, which roughly for United is 8 matches. And also, I believe the U.S. Cup is kind of um, encamped in there. But the one thing that I thought was encouraging is yes, when you don't have Joseph on the pitch, of course, you're going to lose some offense. But
right,
really, when you look at what Five Stripes has been able to do this entire season, that offense has really been using, a football term, if you will, a spread offense. I
right,
mean, literally, it has. He scored 2 goals so far this season, but you have a number of players outside of Luis Araujo. I think he's the only one who scored a goal and will be out tonight. But literally, or Sunday rather, against Charlotte FC. But literally, they have gotten scoring from a number of different places, and that's the thing that encourages me. And then when you have someone like Gonzalo Pineda, who really does get Five Stripes to invest in defense. I think their defense is getting better as well. So I am still encouraged that they're going to get through this rough patch, and hopefully it's just a setback. And I think the positive, kind of ending on an optimistic note, is at least we didn't get that tweet that said he was done for the season. So I still feel like it's a win on some level for United, that they'll only lose them potentially for 6 to 8 weeks.
no doubt about it. And coming up next, T, there is another team that took a L last night. The Atlanta Braves lost to the Cincinnati Reds. However, there were a few bright spots that I know we need to point out to kind of give the Braves fans something to feel good about. That's coming up next on ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tanitra.